Last time we built the GC Ultimate Controller from Handheld Legend, but before it's truly complete, we need to fine tune it. In this video, I'll walk you through updating the firmware, calibrating the joysticks and gyro, mapping your buttons, customizing the RGB lighting, and setting up the analog triggers so your controller is fully dialed in and ready to play. All the information you need to update the firmware on your GC Ultimate Controller can be found on the Handheld Legend website. If you scroll down this page, which the link will be in the description, this is where you can click to download the latest firmware. Once it's downloaded, then you can move to your controller and start synchronizing with your computer. Once you have your controller pulled apart, it's pretty simple to update the firmware on the chip. All you have to do is plug in a USB-C cable and simultaneously press switch 15 and this reset switch. So I'm going to hold switch 15 down with this little spudger tool, and then I'm going to press the reset button. And what you'll see is on your computer that this USB cable is hooked up to, it'll pop up a directory, like a Windows directory, that you can drag and drop your new firmware into. Now all we have to do to update the firmware is drag that file we just downloaded onto the directory that opened up with our button press. It will copy over and it will automatically reset the controller and apply that firmware update. Now that we have the controller hooked up to our computer and the firmware on the controller updated, we're going to update the wireless firmware built into the controller. And to do that, we're just going to follow this link on the Handheld Legend page. And then we're going to say connect. Our machine should already see the controller. And now we have access to all the configuration settings. You can download and install this, but I find using it through the browser the way they have set up is genius. It's really nice just being able to log in and set up this configuration. One and done. Once you're in here, we need to update wireless baseband. So we're going to go into baseband mode. We should see that orange LED flashing on the controller. And then we're going to go to the update tool. We are going to say connect. Connect. Okay guys, so I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried figure out how to get this working on my PC. My PC is AMD based, and the website tells you, look, we've had weird issues with AMD based computers, so try an Intel, try some other type of machine, and then it actually said, or you can plug it into your cell phone and give it a try. And I was like, you know what? Let's see what happens. And I managed to get it connected, but I didn't want to go through the process without recording it. So let's go through. It's the exact same website, the exact same process up until this point. You just run USB-C out of your phone. I have a Samsung Android phone into the controller. Oh, nope, come back. All right. We hit connect. Does pop up. We're going to let Chrome have access. Bam, there it is, just like before. So we're going to enter baseband mode, and we should see that flashing orange, which we do. We're going to go into our update tool. It automatically detected that it is an Android device that we're using, so I'm not going to change any options. I'm just going to hit connect, USB serial. We're going to give Chrome access and let it do its thing. All right. Once you see stub running down here at the bottom, you know you're good to go. You can hit erase, We'll erase the flash. All right, that took 24 seconds. Now we should be able to flash. All right, it says, please unplug your controller to finish the update. I've reassembled my controller. We're not going to need access to the motherboard anymore. And I'm back in this configuration menu, and we're going to start with joysticks. The joystick calibration, right now, actually, that doesn't look too bad. But if you come in here and it's doing some strange things like this, your calibration is off. All you need to do to calibrate is select calibrate, and then slowly in a circle, just kind of run the sticks around the edge a couple times. And then hit stop, and you'll see now we're calibrated. Then to check it, make sure that you get your full range of motion everywhere you go. And then also, you're probably not going to experience this. These Hall effect joysticks are really nice. But making sure that you don't have any drift or anything like that. You can change your dead zones as far as your inner dead zone and your outer dead zone. I'm going to leave them as they are for right now, just because I really need to experiment a little bit with this controller on different games and see what I like. I think that each user is going to find a different setting that they like based on the types of games that they play. Next up is the gyro calibration. We go into motion, and what you can see is as we move the controller, it kind of gives a really good indication of where we're going. I don't use gyro controls very much at all, but to go through the calibration process, you lay it on a flat surface and you select calibrate. Don't touch the controller, let it run through its process. It resets all the gyros inside and those potentiometers that are in there for it to 0. And there you have it, we're calibrated. Most of my games have motion control disabled. I'm gonna go ahead and disable it through here because I don't use it very much at all. While we're in here, we can also set the haptics. If you don't like the vibration, you can turn it off. You can reduce the intensity down. It also has haptic triggers, so if you don't want that feedback on the triggers, you can turn that down as well. So if you click test feedback, you can get a feeling for exactly how intense that is. I'm gonna turn it down, test again. Oh, it's just minimal. Starting to feel it now. We'll go down to 80. Okay, I like that. I'll keep the triggers on for now. To remap the buttons, you go right here into remap, and you can switch each of your profiles. You can have X input or like PC or Raspberry Pi, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, GameCube-style, or the settings for the Switch. I'm going to leave everything default, but this is how you would set it. Basically, just click the button and then press the button that you want to set on the controller. The RGB configuration is really straightforward. Right here in RGB, you can set your brightness. If you select one of the animations, like the rainbow, you can speed it up or slow it down. Reaction reacts to your button presses. I think that's pretty awesome. And then Barry seems to do the different colors not in a unison like Rainbow did, and it's a little bit faster. For me, I'm going to be super simple. and I'm just gonna make all my buttons purple for now. And the cool thing is that you can copy this and you can paste it into everything with one button click. Now all of my buttons are that purple color, that indigo. All right, the last thing that we're gonna set up is our digital triggers. So when you come into the menu, you really want to see this bar not activated at all. And when you press it, you want to see it go all the way. You want to see it kind of activate all the way. To calibrate it, all we do is we hit calibrate, and then 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now you can see it's the bar is not showing hardly at all, and when we push the button in, our triggers are actually registering all the way. Now, if you want to change the throw on these, you know, if it doesn't engage until here, which I can feel the haptic feedback in the controller. So if it doesn't engage until here, you might want that to go a little faster. So you can actually set this digital threshold. And what it does is it sets this line out, and then basically all you have to do is press the button down, you know, 1/4 of the way, and then it's going to actually activate the switch. There's also a dead zone that you can set. If, like on my left trigger there, you see how there's just a little bit still kind of there? Most likely because I sort of rushed through the calibration. But to get rid of that, we can just step this up, and now we're good to go. Put a little bit of dead zone on there. So now we're both functioning the same way. Rock and roll. After you're done with all your configurations, make sure you save it. That'll program everything into your controller so that when you unplug and power off your controller, coming back, it'll all be set up just the way you like it. And that's it. Your GC Ultimate is fully updated, calibrated, and customized. Ready to crush it on GameCube, PC, and even the Nintendo Switch too. If you like the video, drop a comment with some of the options you customize on your setup. And if you get stuck in any part of the update process, let me know that in the comments too so I can help out. Don't forget to subscribe for more retro mods and console upgrades. We'll see you in the next one.